Sokolov should... Snake, when your stamina gets low, it negatively affects your physical abilities. You've got to replenish your stamina before it runs out.
The gauge below your life gauge is your stamina gauge. It shows, as the name suggests, your remaining stamina. As you consume stamina, your natural life regeneration is slowed and your hands shake more. Your O2 gauge and grip gauge also become shorter. Excessively low stamina can often impede your mission objectives. Make sure you replenish stamina before that occurs. Eat food to recover stamina. Capture plants and animals to get food. I have information on the local plants and animals, so don't hesitate to ask.
Your actions can lower your stamina. The more demanding the activity, the more stamina consumed.
Exactly. Walking slowly will conserve stamina, while actions like rolling, crawling, and stalking consume large amounts of it. Try your best to avoid unnecessary actions in order to conserve stamina.
Snake, use the survival viewer to pick your camouflage, treat wounds, and eat food. Ask the boss or paramedic about the details.
Major.
What is it?
It's about your code name.
Major Tom?
Yeah, where'd you get that name?
From a tunnel.
A tunnel?
That's right. Snake, have you seen the movie The Great Escape?
No.
It's a movie about a determined group of Allied POWs trapped in a German POW camp who plan an escape. The POWs dig 3 tunnels for their escape. They named them Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I see. So Tom was an escape tunnel. Did they make it?
Out of the camp? Of course. One of the tunnels was even discovered before it was finished, but eventually they do make it out.
I get it now. So Tom was the tunnel they used to escape.
Yes, that's right.
What is it?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if I remember correctly.
Major.
Oh, it's all right. It's, Tom, Snake. Tom is the escape tunnel. Yes, no question about it. Snake, in order to carry out the mission without being spotted, you must learn to detect an approaching enemy well ahead of time. Press the first-person view button and use the first-person view to constantly check your surroundings as you proceed.
Press the first-person view button to switch to the first-person view. In first-person view, you can look at your surroundings through your own eyes. The overhead view's range is limited. If you plow ahead using only the overhead view, you put yourself in danger of running into an enemy without even realizing he was there. Make regular stops and check your surroundings with first-person view. Okay, Snake?
To take a rest, all you have to do is save and exit the game. The next time you load your save data and continue the game, your stamina and life will have recovered. How much they recover depends on how long of a rest you take.
So the longer I rest, the more I'll recover.
That's right. If you're so exhausted that you don't even have the strength to find food, save the game and take a rest and you'll be back on your feet.
I hope that never happens.
So do I, but you never know. Just don't forget, okay?
I won't.
You should be able to find Russian oyster mushrooms in that area. The Russian oyster mushroom is an edible variety that belongs to the shimeji family. It's known to be particularly rich in vitamin B1 and niacin. Apparently, it's usually found growing on tree stumps and hollow logs, so look there if you want to eat some.
I tried some, but they weren't all that good.
Really? I think they're great. You just lightly saute them in butter with some potatoes, add a little salt and pepper, and...
How am I supposed to saute them out here?
You're not. I'm just saying that... You should be able to find Siberian inkcap mushrooms growing in that area. The Siberian inkcap is a mushroom from the inkcap family. Its life cycle is transitory. As soon as the spores mature, the cap starts to turn black, liquefy, and melt away.
And that's why they call it an ink cap?
That's right. It doesn't really turn to liquid, but you get the idea. In its immature state, before it melts away, it's valued as a source of food.
I ate some, but they weren't that good.
Really? Just be sure not to eat them while you're drinking alcohol.
Why's that?
Ink caps contain coprin, which inhibits the function of aldehyde dehydrogenase. This prevents the body from breaking down alcohol, causing a buildup of acetaldehyde.
Meaning?
Meaning it will give you the hangover from hell.
Oh. Wait a minute.
What?
You think I'd drink alcohol in the middle of a mission?
Wouldn't you?
Hell no.
Well, I'm knocking a shot back now.
What?
Just teasing you.
No.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of humor?
I need a drink.
To eat food, press the Start button to enter the survival viewer, then select Food. Select the food you want to eat and press the Enter button. Select Eat, and you will eat the selected food. When you eat, you will recover your stamina, but the extent of recovery depends on what you eat. When your stamina is down only slightly, you should save your tastier morsels for later. But don't leave food for too long or it'll rot. This is where a little planning ahead goes a long way.
I see you're wearing the leaf pattern camouflage. The leaf pattern was developed to provide cover in forest environments. The U.S. military isn't the only one using it. Countries that anticipate operating in forest environments are developing various types of patterns, each suited to the vegetation of the particular region. The Soviets and the Eastern European countries all use their own unique patterns. Leaf pattern camo will give you an especially low profile in areas of thick vegetation. I see you've got the survival knife equipped. The survival knife is a necessity in the field. Press the weapon button to swing the knife. Press it repeatedly to perform a combo attack. The knife lets you kill an enemy silently, so you should find it useful when the situation calls for stealth. In addition to fighting the enemy, you can also use the knife to capture wild animals. That one knife can provide you with everything you need to survive in the field. Use it well. Ah, you've got a directional microphone. The directional microphone is a high-performance listening device. When you equip it, you'll go into first-person view, where the microphone will pick up sounds in whichever direction it's facing. By pointing the microphone into the forest, you can sometimes hear the footsteps of enemy soldiers lurking beyond the trees. In jungle combat, success depends on how well you can sense the enemy's presence. Use it wisely. The gun you're using is a test model of a suppressor-equipped pistol currently in development by the Navy that's been modified by the CIA into a tranquilizer gun. The suppressor-equipped pistol it's derived from is itself being developed for use by special forces based on the M39.
The Mark 22.
That's what they're going to call it if they decide to adopt it for official use. It uses a slide lock mechanism that will keep the firing sound down to a minimum.
But I'll have to reload it by hand every time I fire, right?
Right. You won't be able to fire multiple shots at once, so make every shot count. Aim for the enemy's vital spots. There's talk of designing the Mark 22 to accommodate special subsonic rounds, but for this mission, you'll be using specifically designed tranquilizer rounds. In a way, these tranquilizer rounds are like miniature syringes. When one of them strikes a target, the impact causes a needle contained within to shoot out. At the same time, chemicals inside the round are mixed to create a gas, which pushes the plunger and injects the tranquilizer into the target. You can knock out an enemy immediately by shooting them in the head, But if you shoot them in the arm or leg, the tranquilizing agent will take some time to set in. Aim carefully. I see you're using binoculars. The ones you've got are a high-performance military model equipped with a zoom function.
Yeah, they give me a flat image across the entire viewing range.
They're completely waterproof and highly shock and flame resistant. You won't need to worry about them breaking. Scouting is key during a sneaking mission. If you can determine enemy positions and the lay of the land from a distance, it'll make your job that much easier. Use them wisely. Are you smoking a cigar?
Uh-huh.
I don't approve of you smoking during the mission.
Hey, you used to smoke them.
Never mind what I did.
Ugh.
But that being said, cigars can be useful in a number of different ways, like getting rid of leeches.
Did you say leeches?
Yes. If a leech clamps onto you, try pressing the lit end of a cigar into it. The leech should cringe and detach itself from you. If you try to yank it off by yourself, you run the risk of it leaving its teeth inside you. With the cigar method, you won't have that problem.
Fascinating.
And unlike a cigarette, a cigar burns slowly, so you can use it in place of a torch in dark places.
I never knew a cigar had so many different uses.
Now you know, but quit smoking them during the mission. Hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Paramedic is the medical correspondent for this mission. Ask her about hunting for food and medical treatment. Also, she has documents detailing flora and fauna in the operation locale. Contact her if you need detailed information on any of the plants and animals in your area. Sokolov should be at the... You can use... Snake, making it harder for the enemy to spot you isn't the only advantage to maintaining a high camo index. The harder you are to distinguish from your surroundings, the harder you are to hit. In other words, the enemy's shots will miss more often. Do everything you can to keep your camo index high at all times. Snake, be careful. The way to change between standing, crouching, and crawling has changed slightly from the methods learned in training. When standing, press the crawl button briefly to crouch, and press and hold to take a crawling position. Since by crouching you take a lower position, it has a higher camo index than standing. And the added stability of crouching lessens the effect of gun recoil. If you try shooting while crouching, you'll notice your shots will bunch together more consistently than when standing. Press the crawl button while crouching to stand up, and move the left stick to crawl in a direction. When crawling, your camo index becomes extremely high, and your firing of guns becomes even more stable than while crouching. You can move the left stick while on your stomach to crawl in a particular direction. When you are crawling, use small movements of the left stick to crawl silently at the expense of speed. However, be warned that crawling consumes more stamina than simply walking. Press and hold the crawl button while in crawl position to stand up. Press the crawl button briefly to switch to crouch position. Don't forget, if you want to stand up quickly from a crawling position, press and hold the crawl button. Listen up, Snake. Keep in mind that this operation is strictly covert. Engagements should be avoided. If you must dispose of an enemy, do it with the tranquilizer gun.
Yup. Sweet dreams, Boy Scout.
That's right. And by the time he wakes up, you and Sokolov will be safely out of the country.
Sipping hot coffee on a plane back home.
What did you say? What did you say?
Sipping hot coffee on it.
You're gonna drink that foul mud? On the victory flight home?
Okay, then. What would you drink?
Tea, of course. Snake, the fake death and revival pills we gave you are the latest in internal medicines developed for intelligence ops by the CIA's technology division. You can use the fake death pill to send yourself into a death-like state for a limited period of time. Use it wisely, and you should be able to fool the enemy into thinking you're really dead. It may come in handy if you ever find yourself cornered. To revive yourself from the fake death state, use the revival pill. But remember, timing is critical. The effect will be ruined if you revive right in front of your enemy.
Interesting. But how does it work?
What do you mean?
I don't feel right taking some pill I don't know anything about. How does it make me look dead? How's it gonna affect my body?
Well, Snake, about that...
I get it. I should ask Paramedic. Paramedic.
Allow me to explain. You know how there are animals in nature that play dead, like weevils, ladybugs, chickadees, possums, and the like? Well, the fake death pill takes the natural art of playing dead and applies it to the spy world. When you take the fake death pill, it causes your body to rapidly secrete a number of chemicals. Adenosine and serotonin, as well as opioid peptides, such as methionine and kephalin. Those chemicals act to induce a state of hibernation, causing your heart rate, your breathing rate, and your body temperature to drop dramatically. It'll truly look like you've dropped dead upon initial inspection. The revival pill, to put it simply, is a counteracting agent to the fake death pill. When you take it, it causes your body to secrete stimulants like noradrenaline and other chemicals such as naloxone, which block the effects of the fake death pill. Basically, it wakes you up. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and explain it in more detail. The secretion of methionine and kephalin triggered by the fake death pill causes the opioid receptors.
Oh, okay. I think I get it now.
You sure?
Yeah.
But you must want to know a little bit more. There are 3 types of receptors: delta, kappa, and mu. Methionine and kephalin acts on the...
Paramedic, I think Snake understands now. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah. Clear as crystal.
But...
Major, I've got enough info about the pills, so I'm gonna get back to the mission now.
Yes, you do that.
Hey, wait a...
When you're in the jungle, determining the position of your enemies is important. That's why you've been supplied with sensors. Use them well. The motion detector senses activity in your immediate vicinity. However, in the jungle, a lot of things other than your enemies are moving. Animals moving around will show up on the sensor just like anything else. Also, the motion detector is only so sensitive. Don't forget that certain enemies and animals that make only slight movements will not be detected. Press the left stick to initiate the active sonar and emit a special sonic wave. The reflected sound from the sonic wave reveals the positions of targeted objects. In contrast to the motion detector, the active sonar reveals still objects as well. However, there's a risk that the sound of the sonic wave will reveal your position to enemies and animals, so be careful when using the active sonar. The anti-personnel sensor vibrates when it detects human life forms. Unlike other sensors, the anti-personnel sensor has been adjusted to react to humans only, eliminating noise from animal detection. It can detect hidden, unmoving enemies, and the use of it doesn't betray your own position. But on the other hand, its accuracy lacks a bit as it has trouble revealing the exact position of detected bodies. Keep that in mind. When you use it during first-person view, it'll work only in the direction you're facing.
When you get hurt, your body will heal itself naturally over time. However, the speed at which your life recovers depends on how much stamina you have at the time. The more stamina you have, the faster you'll recover. So if you want your wounds to heal quickly, you should eat something and replenish your stamina first. A fruit called the Russian false mango grows in that area. The Russian false mango is a mango-like fruit found only in Selino-Yarsk. The egg-shaped fruit is sweet and tangy with a pleasing aroma, just like a mango.
Yeah, it was pretty tasty.
See? Also, the seeds can be used to make a medicine that aids in digestion. It might come in handy if you ever have an upset stomach.
You're wearing the woodland face paint, I see. The woodland face paint is designed for use in forests. It'll give you a high level of camouflage in a wooded environment. Try using woodland paint when you're traveling through the forest. Normally, you would ask a fellow soldier how well your camouflage is working. But this is a solo sneaking mission, so nobody out there is on your side. You have to determine how well your camouflage is working by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, that's what the camo index is for. The camo index tells you how well you've imitated the surroundings. The higher the index, the more well disguised you are. With a high enough camo index, you can even fool enemies inches away. If you are in an area where encounters are a high concern, keep your camo index high. Got it? In my day, I did my share of sneaking into enemy territory.
You mean since World War II?
Yeah, mostly snatch missions.
Snatch mission. That's where you abduct an enemy officer without killing him, right?
Right. That's where I got the original idea for CQC. In a snatch mission, taking out the target's escorts by shooting them is not an option. If the enemy hears the gunshot, they'll know there's an intruder and tighten security. And the target will sense danger and try to get away.
You needed a way to take out the guards and secure the target without making a sound.
That was the idea. The CQC style that you and I developed is based on the techniques I cultivated during those missions. So...
First time I've heard this.
Huh?
You've never told me any of this before.
I didn't?
No. Why? Why didn't you tell me this before? Why now?
I have my reasons. This is a solo sneaking mission. There's no one out there to support you. You'll need to be more than just a soldier. You'll have to be a medic, a pilot, and even a cook.
You don't need to remind me.
I'm glad to hear that.
Glad to hear what?
That you haven't changed a bit. The truth is, you're nervous, aren't you?
I'm not nervous.
There's no need to be embarrassed. No one's ever attempted a mission like this before. In fact, you might say that getting nervous is the natural way to react. Relax. That's why you have the survival viewer. The survival viewer contains everything you'll need to stay alive in the field. Use camouflage to change your camouflage, backpack to select a weapon, food to eat, and cure to heal yourself. The map option lets you view the map, and the options function lets you change the settings to suit your individual style. The survival viewer is going to be your best friend in this mission, so learn to make the most of it. Choose battle fatigues that match the surrounding environment. The most effective camouflage is attained by selecting fatigues that blend in with the environment. Camouflage patterns that stand out in your surroundings will attract attention. It takes more than just clothes to make a good disguise. To camouflage yourself effectively, you'll need to wear face paint. Face paint is camouflage applied to the face. Bare skin sticks out like a sore thumb in the jungle, so always protect yourself with face paint. Choose a color that matches the features of your surroundings, and use your finger to apply the face paint. Start by applying a light color, then gradually move up in darkness. That way, even if you make a mistake, you can cover it up with a later, darker color. In order to flatten the appearance of your face, use light colors on areas of the face that recede, and dark colors on areas that protrude. Open the survival viewer, go to camouflage, then select face, and you'll find the selection of face paints. Be sure to select a face paint that makes you blend right into your surroundings, okay? Camouflage is about blending in with nature to ensure effective... Hunters have known about camouflage since ancient times. But it's only quite recently, since the 18th century, that it's been applied to military operations. The first camouflage introduced to the military was a solid-colored uniform designed to blend in with the battlefield. It was really more of a protective coloring than true camouflage. Camouflage in the modern sense of the word wasn't introduced until the First World War. During that war, weapons such as aircraft, cannon, and warships were painted in camouflage colors. But it was almost never used to disguise individual soldiers. The widespread use of camouflage began in World War II. The Germans and the Russians in particular made active use of it in battle. Nowadays, with the Cold War raging, the Eastern Bloc has been hard at work developing all sorts of camouflage patterns. In the West, the French implemented it in their paratrooper corps, and SAS during the Wars of Independence in Indochina.
I never saw it used in Korea, though.
America has lagged behind other countries in incorporating camouflage. They're only just beginning to consider introducing it into certain units.
Why is that?
Apparently, there are those in the U.S. military who consider camouflage too passive a technique.
Morons.
You're telling me. But now more and more people are beginning to appreciate how useful and important camouflage can be. I'm sure the brass will see the light soon enough.
You want to save? Snake, have you heard of It Came from Outer Space?
Yeah, you told me already.
So this astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, right? And the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic.
I've got all the real I can handle here in the jungle.
No, you don't get it. Precisely because it's realistic, with the images jumping out of the screen at you, it makes for a nice escape from reality. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. Unfortunately, they don't make very many of those movies anymore.
When did it come out?
I was still in college, so probably about 10 years ago.
Guess I'm out of luck then.
You know, they're coming out with household versions of video cassette recorders. One day you'll be able to see old movies anytime you want. It'll be like having a movie theater in your own home.
Really?
It's like if you had a record with movie film etched onto it instead of music. It'll work the same way.
You're kidding.
No, really. And someday they might make movies where you control the characters yourself.
Sounds like magic.
It'll happen. Make sure you stay alive to see it, Snake.
That's crazy. Not too bad. Ah. 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 Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay? To place a weapon on your person, go to the Survival Viewer, then Backpack, then select Weapon. A list of weapons will be shown in a window in the upper left. Select the weapon you wish to put on your person with the left stick and press the Enter button to remove the weapon from your backpack and equip it to your person. However, you can only carry so many weapons at once on your person. Put unnecessary weapons back into your backpack. Select a weapon on your person from the weapon list and press the Enter button to put that weapon into your backpack. Your situation determines what weapons are most useful. Consider this when choosing which weapons to put on your person. Okay, Snake? The sooner you find the enemy, the better you'll be able to deal with the situation. So be sure to make use of sensors like the motion detector and active sonar. When you aim your handgun in first-person view, align the front sight and the rear sight of the gun with the target, then fire.
No laser sight?
What?
A laser sight. I heard the military was developing them, but...
You want a laser sight? A well-trained soldier has no use for a laser sight. No training wheels on this mission, Snake. For the assault rifle and certain other weapons, pressing the weapon button will first ready the gun for shooting from the hip. If you're in a close quarters fight or other situation that requires immediate action, fire from that position. Observe where your shots are hitting and correct your aim accordingly.
I understand, but that doesn't sound too accurate.
Of course not. So when you require pinpoint targeting, like when firing from afar or sniping, hold the aim button to aim. Carefully align your front and rear sights to concentrate fire and gain a sharper view on your target.
Can't complain.
You want to save? Hold on a sec. Hey, Snake, have you ever seen Forbidden Planet?
No, can't say I have.
It's about this expedition that goes to the planet Altair 4 in an ultra-fast spaceship. When they arrive, they meet the survivor of the last expedition, Dr. Morbius. Dr. Morbius was exploring the planet along with his daughter Altera and the versatile Robbie the robot. Ignoring the doctor's warnings, the expedition team is suddenly attacked by an invisible creature called the Monster from the Id. The special effects they used for the science stuff were really neat. I wish I had a robot like Robbie that could make anything I wanted it to.
I'm more interested in that invisible monster. If I were invisible, I wouldn't have to bother hiding or wearing camouflage.
Maybe someday you'll be able to turn invisible.
Yeah, that'll be the day.